What is up, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Holystone HS720E. And I guess the E means the electronic image stabilization. And this was sent to me by Holystone to take a look at, so we want to thank them for that. This is the empty box because it has a nice case inside, and we're going to get to that right now. And there it is, the case, and it's really sharp and has a real nice like a rubber feel to it. And then voila, you open the box or open the case, and there that is. It's got a little foam protector cover there, and here's the quadcopter here. And I will say it is very beefy. I mean, it's very heavy. We're going to weigh it up here in a second, but it's got some beef to it. Then it's got the box of stuff. You know what the stuff is, right? The box of stuff. Here's the transmitter. Let's crack this open up here. Here we have some spare props. A thing of paperwork. Here's a USB-C cable. I guess that's to charge it with. And then the dreaded silica pack. Don't eat that. It says it right on there. Throw away. Do not eat. Don't eat it. And that's all that's in the case. Ooh, it even has a handle on it. Wow, that's sharp. I like that. Anyway, so let's get all that stuff down here. I'm going to toss the silica pack away. Here's all this stuff. Let's take a look at this little folder here, see what's in here. Okay, it just tells you don't charge it in the carrying case and stuff. And here's the manual. Wow, that's why that thing is so big. Here's the manual, and it's in a lot of languages. There's a lot of languages in here. It's real thick, as you can see right there. Here's that little cable, USB-C cable. Here's some spare props. Here's the transmitter. There's the little peel sticky cover on there, the protected cover. Now the transmitter has a wire running into one of these, so this side will be a dummy antenna and this one would most likely be real. So what you want to do with this one is when you turn it around, you want to face it this way, like that, so that will always be pointing up toward the quadcopter. So you just want to turn that one like that and just leave that one there, because that one doesn't do anything. So we'll just close that there, because that's the phone holder is in there too, see. So here's your power right here. Here's your lock and unlock for the motors. There's a return to home here. Over here is probably a takeoff, land, photo, video. Here's your high and low speed. And on this side, your GPS to turn GPS on and off. Now, most of the time when I fly these things, I like to fly them. The first time I fly them, I like to fly them without the GPS, just to see how they act. But you know, we're going to try it out. I got 2 batteries, so we'll try it each way. So there's that, and then here's the quadcopter. Now I'm going to weigh this up because this thing's so dang heavy. I am very curious as to see how much this thing weighs. Wow. Oh, here's the battery, and it has one of those little battery protectors, you know, pin protectors on it right here. This little piece of foam. You take that off so you'll be able to plug the battery in all the way. Then the size of the battery is, by the way, a 7.4 volt 2800 milliamp hour, which is fairly large, to be honest with you. So you want to put that in that way till that clicks in, right like that. And then there's a little thing on the bottom. You push that in to pull the battery out, and then that clicks in, and that locks it from falling out. Then here on the bottom you got some optical flow and some lights. You got some LED lights right there. And I think that might correspond with this button on the controller. You see that button right there for the lights. So that probably corresponds with that. And then you have your little optical flow sensor on the bottom. Then on the side here, there's a little slot for a memory card, a micro SD card. There's a little Wi-Fi antenna sticking right out there. See that? Right there's a little Wi-Fi antenna sticking out. Here's the camera. And there is some kind of dial on here, so maybe maybe it's motorized. We'll find out here in a couple of minutes. I'm going to peel that little protective cover off the lens. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let me get the scale over here so we can weigh that sucker up. That's 494 grams, so you're going to have to put your number on there. Let's look in the box of goodies. Wow. They've got it really wedged in here, guys. Okay, so there's the box of goodies. Okay, you got your charger, another battery, you got the screwdriver, the cable. Here's the USB-C cable, and that's going to go in there with the charger. And here's your charger, here's your output, 3.7 volts, 2 amps. And you can even charge both the batteries at the same time, which is pretty cool. And then you've got this bag of props, which I don't need to open that up. I haven't crashed it yet, so I don't need to put on the props. And you're going to need this screwdriver to change the props, so you might want to hold on to that if you don't have 5,000 of them laying around like me. Let's take a look at the app. So we're going to view that in the App Store. The app there is called Ophelia Go. So we're going to download that, and we're going to get this sucker turned on and take a look at it. Power on the quadcopter. And I think that's with this button here on the head. So that's going to do that deal. Like, it sounds just like the Bugs starting sequence. Okay, so it's going into that light deal. You see how the lights are flashing forward and backwards like that. Now it's wanting me to do the compass calibration. But before I even start the app, I can get that out of the way. So you just want to get that out of the way first, before you even go getting into the app and doing all that stuff. So you just want to spin it a few times until them lights stop flashing. Okay, and then you want to stand it up or point it down and spin it some more. And I think they'll be yellow and red. Yes, they are. See, there's the yellow and there's the red. So it's the same thing as doing an MJX compass calibration. It's the same thing. As soon as you turn this on, you want to do that and get it out of the way. So you just spin it and then stand it up and then spin it again. That's a requirement with these types of quadcopters, that you do that. Okay, so I mean, they have that set up so you don't not do it. So they have it set up so as soon as you turn it on, you have to do that. Now, if I have the transmitter here and I have it turned, the GPS turned off, I could probably just arm the motors right now. And that would be just by hitting this unlock key right here. You hear that? Okay. Now to kill that, I would just pull down on the stick. Here it is again. Just unlock it. Then pull down on the stick to disarm the motors. Okay, so now that we got that all set and the compass calibrated, let's open up the app. The Wi-Fi name right there is going to be Holy Stone EIS. And now it's not password protected, so you don't have to go through that rigmarole, which is nice. It's nice for a toy. You don't have to be bothering with that stuff. Okay, so you just had to click on the screen a couple times to get it to go past there. We're just showing you some of the stuff on the app. Like, here's the settings and, you know, all that stuff. So here's the camera itself. The camera looks very clear, to be honest with you. You see that color? Yeah, looks good. Let's look at my fridge to see if there's anything to eat. There's stuff in there. Look at that. There's a nice pork roast. And there's some stuff in the freezer. Okay, so I'm not going to starve. So there you go. Yeah, real simple. It's not that bad. You know, the GPS drones, you got to go through a few more steps to get them going, but you can get through it. They're a little bit more complex, but they're not that bad. Okay, so I turned the settings on, and you see right here, there's just a few. You want to change the first one, of course, if you're in the United States, to Imperial. And then you want to turn off the beginner mode if you're not a beginner. If you're a beginner, you might want to leave it on. And then the rest of it just shows, it sets your the max distance. Okay, so it says return altitude cannot be higher than what the quadcopter is flying at the time you hit it. So we're just going to scroll that all the way. We're going to just scroll all of them to the end on all of them. The camera, we're going to shoot 4K 30, 16:9, and then on the movie format. I'm going to put a card in there. I'm not doing it right now, but before I fly it, we're going to do that. It's going to say start calibration, but I already did that because the lights aren't flashing. So I don't need to do that right now. Well, I would have to do it again outside anyway. So if I was going to take this outside right now and turn it back on, I would have to do it again. Like I said, these kind of quadcopters that use the MJX system, you have to do the compass calibration when you turn them on, or they won't arm. The motors won't arm if you don't do it. So I'm just letting you know that right in advance. So that'll stop the questions why it won't start. That's the reason. You have to do the compass calibration before you arm the motors. Okay, so because it won't let you. Okay, so that's really all there is to it. You know, there's really not a lot more to it. Okay, so it says the maximum distance 1,640 feet. That's supposedly what the range is going to be. I'm not so sure about that, but that's what it says. And then 394 feet is the height. So we'll see. But the camera does. Okay, so it saves my changes. Okay, so that's all good. Okay, let me turn this off real quick, because what happened was I timed out the drone because I let it sit here so long without doing nothing with it. So, but that's okay. We're done. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take it out and fly it. So yeah, yay. All right, guys, let's go fly this thing and see how it is. All right, everybody, we're out here with the Holy Stone. There it is. we got it going. Okay, I put the second speed on. Let me see if those lights are on. We're drifting around a lot. Let's see how many satellites I got. It says 13. But let's bring it back over a little bit. Now you see it's toilet bowling, and I did the compass calibration already. It did. So it's one of those that's going to dive whenever you try to turn. It just dives right into the ground, which I don't care for. Yeah. Okay, so it's starting to settle down a little bit, but this wind is kicking up, so I'm not expecting it to be that stable. Let's see if this camera gimbal works. Yeah, it does. Okay, it just seems very floaty, like, you know what I mean? Like it just wanders around. Man, that thing almost took off on me. I got it up there in the wind, and boy, it started going like crazy. It was heading off the other way, believe me. I had this. Okay, this train's gonna pick back up here. It doesn't seem to fly too bad as long as you're not trying to go too fast or anything like that. You see, I'm just cruising it around. But I can tell you, I don't like the wind one bit. Because, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit gusty, but it's not that much. It's not that bad. I don't think I'm going to get into any of the flight modes today. I just want to check the battery. I'm just trying to see how it flies. Oh, that train got scrap on it in the cars. Yeah, it drifts like crazy when the wind hits it. Holy cow. See how it just like loses altitude? It just drops. But, I mean, it's not flying away or anything, so that's a plus. Let me stop it here for a sec and let me check the battery levels. Okay, so it looks like I got about 25% down on the battery. So the battery life might be pretty good on this thing. Just got to work the bugs out. Okay, so just flying like this. Okay, just what I'm doing now. Just doing this kind of flying right here. It seems fine. I mean, it's got some powerful motors on there. The brushless motors look strong, you know, and they sound strong. And it is kind of breezy out here, trust me. It is. There comes a big gust. I'm going to stop here for a second because it's hitting pretty hard. So actually it's performing pretty well considering this breeze. I mean, this breeze is pretty stiff. You can see by that bush right over there, okay? You can see that it's pretty stiff. And you see the quad dancing around, so yeah, it seems to be doing pretty good. Like I said, the next time out, we'll take it over to Pioneer Park and try out some of the flight modes and all that. I just wanted to get over here and fly it some. Because that's the main thing, right? How does it fly? If it doesn't fly good, it's no good. I don't care about all these features. You know, I don't care about follow me. I don't care about circle. I don't care about any of that if it doesn't fly good. Okay? So that's the main thing. Return to home and all this other mumbo jumbo means nothing if it doesn't fly good, right? Okay, so I'm just going to do the landing. Okay, that was great. Easy hand catch. There it is, the Holy Stone. It flew okay. You know, okay. It was windy, so I'll give it that, but it did do a lot of that floating around, which is what a lot of GPS drones do. These Sony GPS drones. They're not that stable, a lot of them. They'll bob around and dance around, and you know, I'm not really hip on that, but you know, it didn't fly away and it didn't crash. So, you know, that's a plus. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Have a nice day.